Hello, everyone, and welcome to another night of 2822 Sports Night. I'm your executive producer, Ricky Turner.
And working
To my
overtime
right-
too, Ricky.
Yes, due to some technological difficulties.
Oh, I feel like we've done this before, huh? We did this once today.
Yeah, we did.
It was a lot cooler when we were doing it out on the football field, wasn't it?
Yes, and people will eventually see that episode.
Yes, yeah, we got to figure out a way. Maybe we'll run it tomorrow. So, folks, welcome in. Ricky did a great job of starting us up here today as I was walking in as well, a couple of seconds late. 2822 Sports out all day today at Southern Columbia, the football factory, as high school football starting off and starting up today. And, Ricky, I know you wanted to be home already. I wanted to be home already, too. But did you at least enjoy yourself while we were out on the football field?
Oh, it was a great day for not the brief moment, but, obviously with the rain coming in, team moved inside. I'm sure they weren't happy. I'm sure they wanted to stay on the football field. They were probably out earlier that day at 9 a.m., but I think even then, some rain forced them.
Yeah, they said that they were
well.
in and out all day. Southern Columbia getting ready, trying to get title number 16, state championship 16, as they've won 7 of the last 8, I believe it is. And just a powerhouse of a consistency underneath head coach Jim Roth.
Yeah, you're going to quickly see as the season continues just how good this team is. They went 15-1 last year, only loss coming to the team they will face week 1 of this coming year in Wyomissing, usually a pretty big state powerhouse. They talked to some players. They felt they didn't even play their best football in that game, and that happens. Week 1, you typically play your worst football in week 1. But yeah, it should be an interesting game, and that's a real tune-up for, I think, what is to come. And Jim Roth has them playing some pretty tough teams in the first couple weeks of their schedule.
So do you think that's going to be the toughest test that they see, or do you think there's something right afterwards that might be difficult as well?
I think Williams Valley always is a potent offense. The problem with them this year is they will be graduating a lot of their offensive linemen. So they're going to be a team to watch there in the Skooka League, as they're another, team that could really put up a lot of points last year, especially against Schuylkill Haven in that district title game. But yeah, Williams Valley is a good test for them. But overall, probably 2 of the best offenses I think they're going to see all year, very early in the season as well.
And I mean, certainly from what we saw today out on the field and what the past has shown us, at least when it comes to Southern Columbia, they as an offense are more of a ground and pound, beat you up, almost. Remember the Titans, we got 6 plays, we run them to perfection, and we beat you down with them.
Yeah, that is how they beat you. They wear you down time and time again. This is an offense that I think passed for just over 1,000 yards on the season. Not an offense that's going to beat you through the air. And when they did pass the ball, they didn't go to their guys on the perimeter. They went to their big tight ends that they have on their roster. And I think their leading receiver was actually one of their tight ends who had 7 TDs on the year. But they do return their QB, Aiden Hockenbrock, who had 17 touchdowns this year.
I love that name.
Hockenbrock. Yeah, I know you're having fun with that name earlier. But yeah, Hockenbrock returns, had 17 touchdowns this past year. Also had just under 400 on the ground. But yes, ground and pound football. They had 2 running backs over 1,000 yards. 43 combined touchdowns between those 3, and they return Grady Garcia, whose family has a history of being great players in that Southern Columbia program as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, that kind of the shirts that they had on, they said today as well, it's pressure is a privilege. So, I mean, I was going to say, there's a lot of pressure, whether it be on Grady Garcia or that whole Southern Columbia team to come back. But again, it is a privilege, when you're that good and you have that much of a reputation, you do have the target on your back. And I talked to Coach Roth about that as well. How this year is a little bit different than last year. being that last year they fell a little short of their ultimate goal. You know, they weren't the state champs, where this year they're coming in off the title. So it makes a difference in how you prepare, how people are coming at you. Not that, you know, Southern Columbia on anyone else's schedule isn't a big game, but, you know, it's different when you are the defending state champs. And we'll go to that. Oh, yeah, that's right. Our technology didn't work. So, no, we're going to work our best to get all of that to you. We're going to get it up on social medias. We're going to get it across the board. So we had a wonderful conversation with Coach Roth today, and we did a great hour-long podcast out in the field at Southern Columbia. And, yeah.
That will get out there.
Yeah, and yet Ricky and I are still here at 8 o'clock at night, you know, talking to you folks. Not that we have any problems with that. We love talking to you folks, and we enjoy that you're here watching us on Facebook Live or YouTube, or watching us on the 2822 Now app, which you downloaded via Amazon, Apple, or Roku. But, yeah, night off would have been cool. Would have been all right.
Well, again, our conversation with Jim Roth and, you know, some of the other stuff we talked about, it's pretty evergreen.
We'll run. Yeah, we're gonna use it. We're gonna use it. And tomorrow we'll be at North Pocono, as North Pocono gets ready to defend their District 4A
title.
4A title. Yes. So that will be exciting. As all week we're headed out. Tomorrow we got North Pocono. Wednesday we'll be at Scranton. Thursday Tamaqua. Plus
Scranton Prep. Yeah.
Scranton Prep. Yep.
Yes.
Sorry. And Thursday we'll be at Tamaqua. Plus we have the Wyoming Valley Media Day. Friday, Montoursville. Is that correct, or is Williamsport?
I don't know. Whatever Joe Garrison decides,
Joe's going to go somewhere for sure, for sure. And who do we reach out to today? We spoke with
Dallas.
So Dallas. So we
got
got
Dallas on Friday.
Yeah, Dallas on Friday. So I mean, listen, we're here. There's 2 Friday nights left before we'll be out on a football field for real.
And that's music to my ears, because football around this area, obviously king, and you make a lot of memories, and you see a lot of great talent on the field on those Friday nights. So it's again just a couple more weeks until we're out on the sidelines, and then rushing to get back here to put all those footage and put together a nice. Luckily we'll be in studio, so we don't have to deal with.
Well, hopefully we get a few more machines to edit on, because we're in trouble right now, and my heart cannot take another day like this, or like what Pocono was, or oh man. But guess what we have next week, which we'll be doing this all. You know, next week I'll be trying to figure out how to do this from Williamsport, from an hour away. So.
Yeah, I'd assume we'd have some type of producer in here for that hour.
I'm hoping.
But yes, that's going to be fun, going out to Williamsport, talking some baseball with the Little League World Series, and yeah, being out there, that environment. I've never been out there, so it'll be a first time for me as well. But yeah, should be a great environment, and we'll hopefully see some world-class baseball as these kids go through. I think
starts up a week from tomorrow. Week from tomorrow is the welcome parade and welcome picnic.
Yeah. And
then a week from Wednesday will be the first game. So we're just motoring through 2026.
It's getting us ready for tuning us up for football season, I guess.
We're tuning us up. We're at football season. Well, high school started. Steelers and Eagles are at training camp. Penn State's going. Got a brand new coach in Bucknell as well. I mean, are we going to talk about anything other than football during this hour?
Unfortunately, I just don't think there
is anything to talk about. No, there's lots going on. There's lots going on. Obviously, you got the Phillies and the Pirates in a playoff.
No, Pirates are done. Don't talk about them. They lost airtime. You lose your airtime. They collapsed like every year. I'll give them credit. They kept me going until Steelers training camp. I'll give them that. Last year it wasn't the case last year, but this year they decided, you know what? Even with the trade deadline signing or trades, you know, they just decided, you know, we're not good enough. It's over. But not according to some players. Jake Mangum is still a firm believer in this roster.
I like Jake Mangum.
Good guy. Sometimes he makes a boneheaded player too, but he does have the right intention.
Texas A&M, right?
Mississippi State.
Sorry, Mississippi State, yes. Same color
Same.
scheme.
I was gonna say same color scheme.
But I remember he had a big College World Series.
Yes, him and went to the same college. Who was it? I forget. Brandon or
No,
Ryan Reynolds, Mississippi State. I forget who it was, but I know they're on the same.
yeah, that was a good team, and Oklahoma State played that year against them, who with another couple of pros. They had Carson Benj on that team.
Jake.
Again, we're reading on TV. It's lovely.
Dang it.
It's all right.
I can't figure. But
There's one on. I feel like Mississippi State has a guy on that roster that's got a real a last name that you could do a whole lot with. Because I remember calling highlights and almost getting in trouble with it.
It will come to me.
Ricky's determined. So, all right, let's take a break and let Ricky look this up. And when we get back, we'll got more from our first day of high school football practice and here on 28-22 Sports Night. Yeah, you guys lost 10-1 to the Mets. Your season
lost the series.
I'm sorry.
I think they got killed in the first game too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, ugly series.
And if you're losing to the Mets, you're certainly in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the offense just I don't know what happened to the offense. They just when you upgrade the bullpen, it's again, it's like when you're trying to patch a ship and ship's just freaking.
He said ship.
Patch a hole in a ship.
He said ship. Everyone, SHIP. Go ahead.
Yes, I did say ship that time, but
that time
you plug a hole in the ship and another water, like it's a cartoon. Another spout breaks through in another spot. And you plug that one up, another's. It's just again, it's like a popcorn of issues with the Pittsburgh Pirates that happened. Well, to their credit, they haven't gotten this close, and being this competitive late in the year in a little bit.
Yeah, when's the last time? Probably the Andrew McCutchen era?
Probably. I know they had a good start in 2024, but that they collapsed real early there within their first 35 games because they started really, really hot. I forget what exactly the record was, but they were extremely hot, like 12-4, something like that, and then they just fell off.
Speaking of falling off, it's what it sounds like fans of Buffalo and the Buffalo Bills are saying about their stadium.
That's a
disaster.
Again,
just a number of seats. And again, when it comes to Bills fans, and especially the ones who are here at Highmark, these aren't your casual Bills fans. I got to imagine everyone there is a season ticket holder.
Oh, yeah, no, they're not going to see this. Oh, let's go see. No, these.
I got to imagine everyone there has paid for personal seat licensing and their PSLs and spent tens of thousands of dollars and not to be able to see the game when they go. And that is the most Buffalo Bills thing of all time.
Yeah, I don't know how is it like you spent a good chunk of change at people's
tax dollars. Yeah, because Governor Hochul made sure to get that tax dollars in there.
And then that happens, like
$2.1 billion stadium.
That's just like again, and it's only a handful, but still, like there's actually more than a handful. Like there's a decent amount of seats. Like either they're too low and you could see like you have to look through like the glass of the stairway coming up.
Yeah,
the walls are too far extended out. Again, I get it. I'm sure stadium design is not an easy job by any means, but when there's people's taxpayer money on the line and they see this stuff.
And well, the other thing is that, they were all sent pictures and renderings and drawings. That was one of the big things is that whatever seat you pick, we're going to send you a rendering of what your view will look like. And, there's people putting on Twitter, this is what they sent me. This is what my view actually looks like. And it's not the same. It's not the same.
No, it's certainly not the same. And if I'm those people, Like, say you don't know anything about the stadium, you buy a ticket, and well, Honeywell, I could see the game. You hear a little tucked away in the corner there, but
I'm guessing that Bills fans aren't gonna give back their season tickets because of it, though.
oh no, they're
Yeah.
not. I mean, yeah, your season ticket holders, you waited a long time to get on there. You're not just gonna obviously throw them away, but yeah, still for the fans that are there, I'm sure it's pretty aggravating that whoever. And again, it's probably not going to be season ticket holders, I'd imagine, who get those seats.
No, I got to imagine every seat in there are season ticket holders. I mean, the way the Bills fans are, I can't imagine that they sell many individual game tickets. I got to imagine that most of those are season ticket holders. And again, maybe if they spent less time adding in a giant folding table in the front instead of, obstructed view seats, they could have figured this out. But oh God, I just Bills.
Well,
fans.
no, it was fans. I think fans saw it from the. They had a return of the blue and red training camp.
Yeah. They had the scrimmage there.
Yes, the 50,000 fans at the return of the blue and red.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so if there's 50,000 fans that showed up to it, that means that that's likely 50,000 season ticket holders.
I don't know if it was. I mean, I don't know. Pittsburgh does. Not to the extent of that.
Bills fans are, they're just a different breed.
They do it at a local high school stadium. They have one training camp practice at a high school stadium, and it draws usually a decent amount. But again, there's only so many you can fit in a high school stadium.
Well, your high school stadiums are a lot different than New York high school stadiums. As we were just at Tiger Stadium there, and I've seen a few others. Oh my God. What was the one? Scranton.
The Scranton Knights?
Yeah.
Scranton
That's ridiculous, man.
What, they don't have those in New?
Not to that extent, no.
Oh, I don't know. I felt.
I mean, certainly not to the extent that what was the place that Kyler Murray was working out over the summer? That $60 million high school stadium in Texas.
Yeah, well, that's a completely talk about high school football to the highest extent. That's. I don't know if we're spending in
Pennsylvania's up there. I was gonna say Pennsylvania's up there.
It's up there, but I don't think they're.
When you talk about powerhouse high school football states, Ohio, Texas, Florida, California, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, well, I'm just talking about the stadiums in general, like Texas. Those stadiums,
they're on a different level.
Yes, they're on a different level. Obviously, again, high school football just as passionate around here, but. Those stadiums in Texas are just on a different playing field. So, again, you'll have to. Certain stadiums are smaller, obviously smaller than others, but
I'm excited to see as many as I possibly can.
That's certainly the one you saw today in Southern Columbia is certainly on a different level.
I'd like to say that we're going to be out there for the first game because that's likely going to be the game of the week. I don't know if I can get to Southern Columbia and then back in time for a show, but then again, everything here in the 570 is 45 to an hour away. Nothing is close.
Yeah, nothing's.
You were gonna defend it for a second. Is like
I think the eastern side eastern side of our coverage area, especially the Scranton area with all those schools, is a little
because everything's right on top.
Is a little bit
other.
tighter than out towards Joe Garrison Land and Williamsport. But Southern Columbia is sort of honestly in the middle of that, and that's sort of like the dead zone there, with a lot of farmland, a lot of back roads.
There was some beautiful areas, though.
Oh no,
although certainly we were talking about, come winter time, for basketball season, nighttime with the snow. That's not going to be what was it, Pee Wee Hill Road? Yeah, that's not a fun road to drive on in the white nighttime there.
No, those roads tend to get a little bit treacherous in the nighttime, especially again. I know I haven't done it, obviously again yet, but certainly again driving back in some snow covered for some basketball games at night, and even again football games. Hopefully there's no snow.
But Southern Columbia is going to be one of those teams playing late in the season. We believe so. Yeah.
So they'll be playing late in the season. I don't think there's a doubt about that.
All right. Well, let's talk about some teams that there is a doubt about playing late into the season when we get back from this break, as the number 17 Nittany Lions, whether or not they'll be making it to the CFP as well. What can we expect in year one underneath Mike McCarthy because, making it to the playoffs every year and having a winning record every year is just not enough for these Pittsburgh fans. So,
Nope, it's not.
all right.
It's not.
We'll be right back here on 2822 Sports Night. How do you get 20 strikeouts in a week and not win pitcher of the week?
Oh, didn't win?
He didn't win.
Maybe he won it too much. Maybe they said, okay.
What's that?
Maybe he won it too much.
I mean,
Who won it?
dude from Jacksonville, I want to say.
Jumbo Shrimp.
Yeah, the Jumbo.
Reigning
Shrimp.
champions.
I love that name.
Yeah, great name.
Hold on. Jace something. Jace. I saw it earlier because I was wondering if we were going to have to talk about it during the 6 o'clock broadcast. But yes, what we're discussing here and not letting any of the audience know is that we were pretty much dead set. And in fact, so dead set that the other day when I was talking with Shelly Duncan, I was like, hey, let me get this out of the way so I don't have to bother you again. Brendan Beck, 20 strikeouts.
Jace Beck.
Yeah, that's
Jace Beck.
That's who won. Yeah, Jace Beck. But Brendan Beck, 20 strikeouts this week in 2 outings against the Red Wings. 1 earned run. I think some less than 5 or 6 hits. But a career high 12 strikeouts in his first appearance, 8 in his second, and does not get the Pitcher of the Week award, which he's already won multiple times this year.
Yeah, that's shocking. What did this guy do to top that? I want to see his stats.
Yeah.
Like that's dang. Brendan Beck. Yeah, we thought that was a surefire.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was
surefire
totally
winner with the way he pitched.
But no, Jace Beck of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp went ahead and got it.
Yep, Tuttle, Oklahoma. Drafted by the New York Mets, round 22.
What a surprise.
Pick 658.
What a surprise.
He's 26, so he's probably spent a decent bit of time here in the minor leagues. And his next game is actually tomorrow against the Syracuse Mets.
But again, listen, Brendan Beck right now, 9-2, 9 wins, number 1 overall in MILB. 2.66 ERA, also number 1 in MILB. 115 innings pitched, also number 1 in MILB. And 126 strikeouts, which is top 5 in MILB. I mean, if they give out a Cy Young for, which is, they do. I mean, it's the MILB Pitcher of the Year award. It's just they don't call it anything. I mean, how do you not give it to Beck at this point?
Yeah, he's just been outstanding. He's been a big reason why, not only did he keep them sturdy in the first half of the season, he's been a big part of why this team has been so good in the second half of the season. Yes, they found their bats. They even lost, George Lombard recently going up to the big Yankees, even though I think Volpe recently hit like a 420 foot moonshot.
Well, Volpe and Jason Dominguez both homered in their first game as a Rail Rider, and the Rail Riders lost 13-5. But yeah, they both homered as a Rail Rider. Yeah.
So yeah, that's again the pitching has been much better in the second half. I think Shelley, he likes keeping it straight. He just says they take it game by game. They don't look ahead of that. Very coach.
He brings a winning pedigree. I mean, it's not like Shelly Duncan didn't win and win at the biggest level. I mean, he was on Yankees teams that won at the highest level. So, I mean, at this point in time, if any of those other pitchers, and they have some, if LaGrange or Elmer Rodriguez, who are the top 2 pitching prospects in the Yankees organization, was pitching like Beck was, they would have ran away with this. I mean, LaGrange and Elmer are supposed to be, top guys. The Yankees weren't willing to move either of them at the deadline. That's how much they thought of them. And yet, Beck is the one who is holding down the fort here in Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
Yes, he's the one who's holding down the fort. And I know they just at the trade deadline, the Rail Riders lost Cruz, one of their bullpen pieces.
The best bullpen piece.
Their best bullpen piece. They did move him at the deadline for I think Luis Garcia. But yeah, I mean the Rail Riders have found a way to sort of weather the storm, even with the injuries up with the big Yankees. Spencer Jones having to get called up, a number of some of these Yankees having to get called up, and Joey Duncan has done nothing but adjust and find a way to get his lineup in the best possible way. And, it helps that, I guess, of a veteran presence of a player like Tyler Hardman out there, who's gave them a consistent bat in the second half.
And now they got two big leaguers too. I mean, as much as you want to say they're not anymore, Anthony Volpe and Jason Dominguez are big leaguers. And likely, I mean, once September rolls around and they can extend the roster, I'm guessing Volpe and Dominguez would likely get called back up unless they absolutely do nothing here in AAA. But again, Volpe's got a couple of home runs. Dominguez has got a home run. They've been hitting the ball well. It's just at the end of the day, Volpe's not the answer long-term for shortstop for the Yankees. And now it's time to find out if George Lombard Jr. is the guy.
Yeah, and he's made, I think, a number of really good plays, not only hitting the ball, but on the defensive side as well. He's made a couple diving stops, a couple impressive plays to get people at second. And that really was the big thing with Volpe, the defense. The defense was just not there, and it wasn't being played at an MLB caliber level. And George Lombard, I think one of the things they were obviously knew what his bat was capable of, but they needed someone on defense. And I think that's how you ingratiate yourself to Yankees fans, especially at the shortstop position early on when, Volpe's struggling, is you make a couple nice defensive plays.
Do you think Yankees fans they for some reason really want their shortstops to be able to go into the hole and make a jumping, throwing catch? Like they've seen it before or something like that?
Seen it before in the playoffs. So
yeah, dude was pretty good for about 20 seasons.
Yep.
No, I mean, listen, this is the opportunity. I mean, the hope is, and this is what it's tough when you're a AAA city. The hope is that we'll never see George Lombard again. That's the hope.
That's the hope. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you catch him on a rehab assignment here or there, but yeah, the hope is that George Lombard Jr. is the future shortstop, and we'll never see him again. And who knows what's going to happen with Volpe, because he's likely now trade market. He's trade bait, but I don't know what you're going to get for him. I mean, again, we're likely not going to see Spencer Jones anytime here in the future back with the Rail Riders, as the Yankees outfield is just decimated by injuries, with Bellinger down, Judge down, Stanton down. I mean, who you got? You got Trent Grisham right now. They traded for an outfielder, I know, at the deadline. And other than that, I mean, Spencer Jones probably is playing, pretty much every day. So it's time for these Rail Riders to say goodbye to Scranton Wilkes-Barre, probably for good.
Yeah. It unfortunately it probably is. And again, obviously, he had a pretty good run here, but again, he probably will play a majority.
54 games, yeah.
And he was injured as well, I think, right before the
he got missed a couple weeks. Yeah. I mean, throw down to second.
Yeah, throw down
I was there for that. That was scary, yeah. Listen, I mean, but that's the point of having a AAA team. And that's the point of having a deep farm club. And Shelley's doing a great job of integrating. There we go. Integrating the new pieces while losing some core pieces as well. And I mean, likely the roster will have a couple of more changes before we get to the end. But right now they're tied for first place in a 3-team race with Indianapolis and the Durham Bulls. Yeah. And, the Guardians certainly are in a playoff push, and so are the Rays. So both the Durham team and the Indianapolis team, they'll have some changeover as well as we head down the stretch.
Yes, they will. So again, we'll see ultimately again what happens with all those teams. But yeah, the Yankees obviously in the midst of a playoff push. But yeah, sticking with Anthony Volpe here, his stats have also just declined in terms of especially his power. The guy hit 19 home runs last year. I know he only hit 212, but this year in the big leagues, he's played in 56 games as just one home run, and I think that has been a big part of why he hasn't seen the success this season. And even in his big year, in his second year in 2024, the guy hit I think, what was it, 21 or he had 12 home runs, had 60 RBIs. And in 2023, he had 21 home runs, 60 RBIs. And I think that's a part of why, he's just not powering the baseball over the fence like he used to.
And it certainly makes a big difference for him when, you're now one of the guys in the lineup that you have to get out versus when he was playing with Judge and Stanton and everybody else. And it's like, okay, almost we got to get those guys out. Let's throw to Volpe. And that tends to be the case. When you have other guys in the lineup that you're afraid of, you'll have opportunities. And right now he's not going to get those because there's not a lot of guys in that Yankees lineup that people are afraid of.
Yeah, especially with all the injuries. Yeah, they've really again, that lineup has sort of been decimated with Judge out, Giancarlo Stanton out,
Bellinger
out. I mean, those are three big name guys that they were going to rely on for everyday production. Ultimately, now you're making trades, sort of relying on AAA guys like Spencer Jones probably a little bit more than they thought they would have to this season. But yeah, I mean, that's what happens. The injury bug strikes, but they're still near the top of the division, fighting with the Tampa Bay Rays, who I think they'll be playing soon as well. If they win the series against the Braves, I believe, yes, on Sunday. And now, obviously, again, they'll need to look to win that series against the Tampa Bay Rays, who have really been one of the best teams in baseball.
And this is the last thing we'll say before we take a break here, too, is especially as you mentioned the injury bug, I'm certainly thinking that the Yankees and the New York organization was not expecting that by the time August rolled around, Garrett Cole, Max Fried, and Carlos Rendon would all have made starts this season in Scranton. And because, again, we have seen Garrett Cole, we have seen Max Fried, and we've seen Carlos Rendon twice now here in Scranton. So not a bad season to be a season ticket holder as a Rail Rider fan, though.
No, certainly, especially when you have all the big league talent coming here. Not a bad season at all. And then you get, of course, to see, George Lombard, one of the Yankees' top prospects here for 50 games. I'm sure, those people aren't complaining at all.
So just real quick, like I said, we're going to take a break here, but George Lombard, Spencer Jones, both big leaguers now at the moment. And as well, you got to see Fried, Cole, and Rondon, Dominguez, Volpe,
Austin Wells to a lesser degree.
Austin Wells has come down. Have we missed anybody else? There's been a bunch of Yankees this year here in Scranton.
Yeah, there has been.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to hit a break. We'll be right back. 2822 Sports Night right here on the CTV Now app. Well, gas is what, $4 a gallon, and people can't afford chicken or eggs. Wages have been the same for like 30 years, but yet housing and rents keep going up. No one trusts the media. No one trusts the government. No one trusts our health care. Social Security is going to run out. The world's getting hotter and hotter every day. But let's have our wonderful representatives on both sides of the aisle in Washington waste their time and not even get anything passed when it comes. Like, guys, we get out of college football. Can we tell them stick to politics? If you're going to tell us stick to sports, you stick to politics and get the hell out of college football. Get the hell out of Olympic sports, especially if you're going to waste all of this time and not get anything done. And take Mark Emmert and the NCAA with you. Because other than a video game with EA Sports every year, I want nothing to do with the NCAA either.
Yeah, they're NCAA in general. board has been extremely frustrating. And are you talking about the 5th-year eligibility?
All of it. We don't need our politicians wasting their time for this Protect College Sports Act that's a bunch of junk that's really only designed to allow coaches to make whatever they want and go to wherever they want. But hey, no, the players can't do that. No. God, that's bad. That's bad. And what a surprise that like a dude like Tommy Tuberville, who made his money on the backs of his players. Again, Tommy Tuberville was a terrible coach, but because he had a great Auburn team, you know, he gets to now take it. I don't know if Tommy Tuberville is a worse politician or a coach, but either way, because of the people in Mississippi, he's now, you know, the god. And same thing, like Ted Cruz and Tommy Tuberville. Stay out of my college football. Stay out of my college football.
You could even argue NCAA Division II has been better than the Division I because they approved an emergency age-based eligibility, and that allows student athletes a maximum of 5 years of completion.
It's just ridiculous.
Starting at full-time college enrollment or the academic year after turning 19. But
I mean, what was it? That the tight end from Indiana had played 9 college seasons.
Yeah, I forget there was one dude who just kept getting hurt. And I get it. Injuries happen.
I get it. No, listen, I get it on both ends. Injuries happen, and if you can get red shirt or medical exemptions, okay, sure. But but I mean, especially in college basketball now, like. Who's the one dude who played last year on Kansas, and the year before that it was Ole Miss, and the year before that he's played on 9 schools in 8 years or something like that, and he's really, really good. Like he's gonna be in the NBA. But that said, like I make my gas $2 again. I need my gas to be $2 again. I need to be
AJ Store.
Yeah. Like, okay, and what? We had the one dude, Arkansas this year, who was a pro basketball player in Europe, but is now a freshman. Like, yeah, there definitely needs to be some guardrails. But maybe if you hadn't, like, just let it become this free-for-all that it was, we wouldn't be in this position. And no, I don't think Nick Saban and the U.S. government are going to be the ones to save the NCAA, because I need the U.S. government to save my bank account.
Yep, that's very true. They should start focusing on that instead of actually focusing on college football rulings, because I think that's something the NCAA has to fix, because the Division II Executive Board at least had some brains and said, you know what, 5 years is the maximum. And again, that's realistically what it should be, because again, I get it, injuries happen, but at some point you don't need to be 25, 26 years old still playing in college sports. Like at the maximum, like 24, like you should be getting up on out of there and either.
Do you have a problem with Chris Winkie and Brandon? Who was the quarterback for Oklahoma State?
Which guy?
The one who got drafted in the first round, Brandon
Estemaker?
No.
Brandon Whedon?
Yes,
I do. Because why you in school that long?
Well,
unless you start late.
No, neither of them. They started late. They both were drafted. Chris Winkie this way too. They were drafted and they went and played pro baseball. Well, they never made pro baseball. Same thing. The third baseman Drew Henson that split time with Tom Brady. I'm dying here, folks. They and same thing. Kyler Murray, pro baseball. Well, minor league baseball, vice versa.
Yeah, but they didn't. They had to compete, and typically, again, when you're competing, most baseball players, at least when you're competing. NFL, MLB, you look at the contracts, obviously, make more.
This might be a little bit before your time, but do you remember watching the Mitchell investigation and the Mitchell report?
I've heard about the Mitchell report.
Okay, so this was before your time, but it was a big thing where the Mitchell report and the Mitchell investigation, the government was going to stop steroids in baseball, and they had this big
was that the steroids?
Yeah, and Rafael Palmeiro's point, I never this blah blah blah, and Sammy Sosa forgot how to speak English, and Mark McGuire is doing his thing. Guess what? None of it mattered. We're 23 years later or whatever it is. None of it mattered. It really didn't. And the fact is that baseball was more entertaining during the steroid era than it is right now.
These guys were launching the ball.
Baseball was better in 2003 than it is right now. And I find it hard for anyone to argue that differently. And that being said, here's the thing. They didn't strike out. Mark McGuire was a power hitter, but he still could make contact with the ball. Sammy Sosa could still make contact with the ball.
I think that's more so on the coaching and how players are taught and analytics and it's all just that.
But that all aside, that whole charade, the whole congressional hearings and everything that was the Mitchell report, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. And we're going to look back at this and realize that it doesn't matter, because in 2 years, if the Big Ten and the SEC want to do their own thing with ESPN's backing, they're just going to. The NCAA is a thing of the past. It just is. I mean, the CFP is owned by ESPN. That's what people forget, is that the CFP is a creation of ESPN. So, the national championship is just given to who ESPN feels deserves it.
Well, hopefully, obviously, again, hopefully that does not happen. But yeah, we'll ultimately, again, I guess, see what happens with that, and hopefully the 10 FBS conferences in Notre Dame sort of, put a stop to.
Just let them handle their own. We don't need a court-appointed college football czar. We just don't. We need our gas to be $2. We need people to be able to afford homes. We need people to be able to, put their kids through school and have their kids come home from school without worrying about, all the things that have happened. Concentrate on that. And Nick Saban, concentrate on college game day, because I'm looking forward to college game day. I'm not looking forward to your congressional hearing. So, all right, let's take one more break and we'll get out of here and we'll hit the NFL before we're all said and done. Man, Ricky, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, last year, I really missed out by missing and us not having an 8-4 Iowa team match up against Ohio State in the 24-team college. Why? Why? We don't need 24 teams, okay?
That's where I thought you were, not going last segment, but I forgot that news dropped today.
Okay. All right, I'm looking at last year's college football, the final rankings going into the playoffs. And last year we had 12 teams. Indiana deserved, Ohio State deserved, Georgia, Texas, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, all deserved. Oklahoma, Alabama, Miami, Notre Dame, BYU. That was all the hubbub, blah, 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 blah. All right, but let's go to 13. Texas. They didn't deserve to be in the CFP last year. I know we loved Arch Manning, but they looked really bad most of the season. They did not deserve to be part of the playoffs last year.
The Arch started off, again, to be fair, against a really, really good Ohio State defense. Yeah. Week 1 got thrown into the fire. But again, when you're a projected early round pick, big things are expected in that game.
But even after that, it was okay, well, they played Ohio State in week 1. We're going to see him break out. Well, they play, and we're going to see him break. He never broke out last year. They just didn't have. Okay, so
I thought he did well towards the end.
I thought he did well, but again, not enough to say, okay, Texas could be playing for a national championship. Vanderbilt, we're really going to pioneer for Vanderbilt. Yeah. Or how about Utah? Because God forbid we don't have the Utes.
They were good.
I'm not saying they're not good, but this isn't good. This is college football playoffs.
Well, you knew when it got expanded from 4 to 12. This always happens in sports. You look at the perfect example is the NCAA March Madness tournament.
64 was perfect.
You're at 64. You're at 60, and now they have 68 because of all the
and now it's growing again.
We don't need some teams. You just got to be better next year.
You don't mean the 10-3 Virginia Cavaliers who lost to Duke in the ACC championship and ranked 19th in the country deserve to play for a national championship?
No, they probably did not. I think 12, right where they're at now. And again, we've talked.
Or how about the
11-2
North Texas squad? That's a national championship team.
Well, we talked about some of the power, the group of five schools, and what's going to happen to please, I guess, everyone is they're going to have their own they're going to have their own tournament off to the side and let the Power 5 or whatever it's Power 4.
It's amazing. Every year when it was just two teams, it was like, well, that third team's always deserving. And it's like, all right, some years yes, some years no. Then it was 4, and it's like, well, the 5th and 6th team's always, some years yes, and some years no. Well, now there's 12. It's like, no.
12's fine. Like, I think
12's fine.
12's fine.
Just, we don't need JMU. We don't need Tulane. Like, if they go undefeated and they are one of the 12 best teams because other power teams, like, have knocked each other off, sure, put them in. Like, that one year that UCF went undefeated.
Like Bortles.
That team could have played for a national championship. Sure, whatever. Or even the one year with Boise State that beat Oklahoma with Ian Johnson and the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't need Colt Brennan's 15-0 Hawaii team. I don't need last year's Tulane and James Madison. Honestly, 2 years ago, we didn't need Indiana in the playoffs because they got smoked in the first round.
Well, they got in because they were a top 12 team.
That didn't play anybody.
Well,
that was 2 years ago, not last year.
You could argue Penn State's going to be the same way because look at Penn State plays.
No, dude, even at 11-1, I'm going to find it hard for them to get in this year.
I don't. I think if they go 11-1, and again, it also happens. What happens with the team because the SEC eat each other alive.
You're right, but here's the thing: if they go 11-1 and then play Indiana or Ohio State in the Big Ten championship and get absolutely mollywopped, the precedent of Penn State will keep them out. Even though it's a new coach and a new organ and everything like that, if they get mollywopped in the Big Ten, it'll be like, all right, it's another Penn State.
We'll see. I don't know. I just think, again, Penn State's got the benefit, a really beneficial schedule.
And I love Rocco Beck, man. I really do. I thought he was one of the best quarterbacks in the nation last year. I thought Iowa State, I thought they underperformed. And if you listen to Matt Campbell or Rocco Beck, they'll say the same thing.
Yeah, no, I think they for sure underperformed with how last season ended. But yeah, I mean, they're going to be an interesting team to watch. There's certainly, again, they've got a lot of new, and they're going to be a fun team to watch. But again, I just still think if they go 11-1, if they win either that, I guess to go 11-1, you either have to beat USC or Michigan. They won one of those two games because probably USC and Michigan.
USC's not going to be as good as people make it.
They're going to be a top 25.
They'll be a top 25 team all year.
But team.
Yeah, but they do the same thing. They'll drop a game or two because Lincoln Riley can't coach defense for some reason.
Well, no, he's known as an offensive. He's always been known as an offensive.
I understand that, but you hire someone who can coach some defense.
Well, you also have. I guess USC does get the recruits, but
they do.
You also have to have some guy who could coach. Coach defense as well.
Well, I mean, listen, I get it. Lincoln Riley for 3 straight Heisman winning quarterbacks, but
Blake, Kyler. What do you do? Blake, Kyler, and
Kyler. Well, no, Jalen Hurts, then Kyler Murray, and then Caleb Williams.
Okay.
He had 4.
I was going to say
Baker. Sorry, 3
Baker.
at Oklahoma, and then Caleb Williams. So Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts, and then he followed that up with Caleb Williams at USC. So dude knows what he's doing. So, all right, we said we were going to talk the NFL, but it's 8:58, so we're out of time. So here we go. NFL, Lane Johnson, the heart and soul of the Philadelphia Eagles, saying this is his last year. We'll get more into that tomorrow. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't believe in COVID. So thank you. This was 28-22 Sports Night. No, it's been that way for a long time.
Well, yes, but.
Yes, yeah. So, all right, we're back tomorrow with more from the high school football scene as we are heading to North Pocono practice. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you like, subscribe, and download on the Amazon, Apple, or Roku app. Check us out tomorrow on Facebook or YouTube. For Ricky, Nate Johns, and myself, we will catch you later.